Hi. Yesterday we have discussed about the aspects those are related to the change, and in fact the theme for the discussion was change management. And we have already discussed the forces those are responsible for the changes, maybe environmental forces or related with the external environment, maybe economic, social, technological, political, nature based, legal, so many aspects, and internal, man, machine, material, money. When we talk about changes, we all have witnessed even into the tourism also. The changes those are coming up because of the COVID-19, the changes because of the digital revolution. We have witnessed the changes in the civil aviation also. The low cost carrier has redefined the air travel. So all these things are coming up, not only in the transportation, but even when we talk about the tourist behavior, their lifestyle, their requirement, their demand, the tourist generating countries, and inbound and outbound tourism, everywhere changes are witnessing. Now, as a HR manager, things become more crucial because you have to implement the change. So, obviously, as a HR manager, you have to be the expert in change management. Therefore, when we talk about the change management, there are three important aspects. One is individual level change. When we talk about the individual level change, that can be related with a job, a particular task you have assigned. Say, for the example, a person has been asked to take the tourist from airport to the hotel. That is called airport transfer. But we have assigned him tour guiding. Similarly, shift. He is working in the morning shift, whereas we have asked him that you have to take care for the UK market and US market. So obviously you have to work according to their time schedule. So the shift change may be there. Similarly, location wise also the change can be implemented. Sometime he was in Chennai and you have shifted to Bangalore, or a person was in Dubai and then you have shifted to Los Angeles. So, dear friends, changes can be there at the individual level. Similarly, when we talk about the changes under the change management, changes can be there at the group level also. Sometimes the flow of work within the group itself, superior subordinate relations, job design, communication pattern, all these are the aspects those are related with group level changes. As a HR manager, you have to be concerned with the team where you are working or team which you are leading. So obviously need not to confuse the group and team. The difference is the same. That team has more cohesiveness when we talk about the group comparatively. So third change is at the organization level. Sometimes we change the planning, and the planning can be changed and modified. So it so happened when the new government comes, they have their own planning. Similarly, keeping in view the changing corporate environment, changing political environment, changing socio-legal environment, you can also plan accordingly. So the organization level, one change can be witnessed at the planning level. Similarly, structure, you can replace the GM, or you can replace the HR manager or marketing management. Similarly, changes can be related with the salary or the remuneration part. Changes can be related with the objective also. When we talk about the organizational change, sometime management decide to go for the collaboration, or say joint venture, so or amalgamation. So various strategies are there, business policies. So as a HR manager, you may implement the change at the individual level, at the group level, and the organizational level. Now the moment you are going to manage the change, or while you are going to implement the change in the organizational setup, you would realize that as the human phenomena is there, or human tendency is there, people always resist the change. चेंज का हमेशा विरोध होता है. एंड इफ वी क्रिटिकली एनालाइज दैट व्हाट्स द रीजन for the resistance, then you would find that this change may be at the individual level or change may be there at the organizational level also. Change is there and people have a tendency to resist. That may be because of the economic reasons. They have a fear that maybe their salary may get down, or there may be cuts in the salary, financial losses may be there. Social, like, when they feel that oh, if the changes will be there, then definitely I may not be able to meet with my old friends with whom I am working. So social cut off, I have to adjust with the new social setup. So that may also be one of the reasons. Psychological change, psychological aspect when we talk about the individual. So why do they resist? So because of the psychological aspect, sometimes people have a fear and they do not know what is the reason, but they have a fear that if the change is there, then obviously I may suffer. So because of their habit, because of the job security, because of the economic factor, unknown fear, sometimes individuals have their own perception process. So they perceive the change from their perspective, and because of sometime miscommunication or because of sometime misunderstanding, they resist. So resist of change would be always there. So how to manage this? This is a matter of discussion which we will definitely discuss. The second part is the organizational. Organizations resist the change because the structure may change. Sometimes they may have the feeling that there will be a takeover by a bigger organization that may not be good for us, so let us resist. So all the people those are working in the organization, they may resist. Sometimes group inertia is there, that we'll be losing this or that, and then the group may be stronger in organization, and then the resistance will be there. The power relationship also may affect. Because of this also, the people may resist the change in the organization. So when we talk about the resistance of the change, they can be witnessed either at the individual level or group level or the organizational level. Now a question which is $1,000,000 question, and which is very important as a student of management or as a student of behavioral science, that how to overcome the changes. The very first thing is the education. As a HR manager, it is your responsibility to educate the people, to communicate to the people, to convince the people. If the COVID-19 is there and if you are asking, no, you have to use the mask. If you are asking them that you use the sanitizer all the time, whenever you are meeting with someone or whenever you are touching something. So people may initially have resistance. Why should I? Because my hands are hygiene and I don't require any sanitization. But slowly when you are communicating, you are educating them. While they are into the tourism industry, they are handling a lot of tourists in a day. So then obviously they may realize. So communication is very important. This is what we are witnessing, that the government is trying to communicate, trying to educate the people, to the masses, that this is the harmful. The COVID-19 is very harmful for the people. It is a communicable disease. So we have to take care. And slowly now, after a month or 40 days, we are realizing that people are putting masks. They are more cautious. So when we talk about the overcome resistance, you have to educate them. People are resisting because they are not educated. So you have to impart the training. In tourism, this is very important when we talk about the host population. Participation. If you can involve the people in the changes. So you can identify initially some of the opinion leaders. You can find some of the people, those may be called as the change agent. So these change agents play an important role. As a senior manager, you are not directly implementing, but the things are moving through the opinion leader. We call it the focus group, through focus group meetings also. It so happens sometime when you have to implement something. This also I have witnessed in in West Bengal. Once we went to the village of the West Bengal, then I am told by my fellow friend who is from Bengal. He said, if you want to penetrate, if you enter into the village, don't go directly. Rather, take some political leader, opinion leader. Those may make your task easy. So government also follow the same thing. They just take into consideration the panchayat people, the people those are elected from the village. So you have to find out the participation through the leader, that may be opinion leader, or through the change agent. So first is educate them, allow them to participate, and then facilitation. When we talk about the facilitation, you have to impart skills, you have to impart the training. So when we talk about the COVID-19 and tourism, there are certain new protocols those are there when we talk about the COVID-19. So while you are handling the tourism industry or the tourist, you have to follow those training program, those new setup of skill. So as a manager, it is your responsibility to provide them skill training, upskill, or the re-skilling them, and the training. People may not be freely easily agreed, so there you have to be diplomat, and obviously you have to provide some incentives also, some motivation. That is called negotiation. So people may not be easily agreed because they have a fear that they may lose the job also, they may lose their job also. So all these things are important. And the last one is the coercion, or you can call it is when we talk about the management of change, or the overcome the resistance. You will find that people have a great fear that, oh, I will lose my job, I will lose my job, I may not be get promoted, or my promotion may get cancelled. So here you have to be diplomat, you have to be you have to be tactful, and through coercion you can manage these things. So in a nutshell manner, if we just try to find out the steps, this include the education. First, education, participation, facilitation, negotiation, and coercion. Sometimes we call it the manipulation also. So dear friend, if you further go through the studies, those are there related to the overcome resistance or the management of change, you will find a very interesting theory developed by Kurt Lewin. Kurt Lewin has translated these steps into three parts. He has referred the example. I think all of you have the refrigerator at your home. आपके घरों पे फ्रिज है. So if you just recall your mother or the sister or your wife while she's managing the refrigerator. So what she does, because there is a heavy snow inside the snow box or the ice box, so she will just unfreeze. Similarly, when we talk about the management of change, while you are implementing the change, the very first thing is to unfreeze the thing. Unfreeze means while you are imparting the change, when you are imparting the new things, first of all you change the habit of the people. Whatever the old value, culture, relationship, you keep all these things aside, and you have to convince the people that there is a need of change. So once you are convincing them, then you please keep aside all those old things, right from the technology and the psychological. So this is called unfreezing. You are taking all the things aside, and then you implement the change. You introduce the change. You introduce the new machine. You introduce the new structure. You new values, and then let it be act means action may also take place. So unfreezing, then change, and then is third one. The Kurt Lewin says let it be refreeze also. तो घर में क्या करते हैं, जब फ्रिज को आप साफ़ कर देते हैं, सारी चीज़ नई रख देते हैं, वाटर बॉटल सही रख देते हैं, नई रख देते हैं, या उसमें पानी साफ़ करके रख देते हैं, आप आइस बॉक्स साफ़ कर देते हैं, उसके बाद आप दोबारा उसको रीफ्रीज कर देते हैं. सो Kurtline has said the same thing. Now the changes which you have made, you have you have introduced, let it be permanently practiced by the people those are working in the organization. Dear friends, so Kurt Loin has very clearly conveyed and very nicely he has briefed that the changes can be managed through three stages or three steps. One is unfreezing, second one is the change, and third one is the refreezing. When we talk about the change, you might have overheard a word called change agent. So change agents are very important, dear friends, because as a senior manager or as a director of the organization, while your own, if you are going to the people, they may always resist. So it's always better to utilize the change agent. When we talk about the change agent, you have to understand the group forces, that what are those group forces are there, those are important and people are ready to listen them. So these are called the opinion leader also. So when you talk about change agent, always remember, you have to keep in mind the group forces, what are those group forces and how to manage them, or how to manage through group forces. You can use the leadership. There are some formal leader, there are some non-formal leader. So informal leaders also play an important role when we talk about the change management or the implementation of change. You cannot work in the isolation. When you are implementing the change, when you are managing the change, pay some reward to the employees, because unless they get some reward, some advantage, that may be monetary or non-monetary, you pay something to them so that they feel happy. So what you are doing, you are paying the salary while the employees are sitting at home during COVID-19. You have asked them, okay, don't worry. You have telephoned them and you have asked them, okay, if there is any work, I will call you and you can work from home. So this sort of non-monetary reward is there. Working with unions. So you cannot implement change in an isolation. You have to involve the union. Otherwise, union are so typical, they will create problem for you. So union can also be the change agent. And of course, as a senior manager or as a member of the board of director, you have to be concerned with the employee. Similarly, government is concerned with the citizens. So dear friends, these are the aspects. When we talk about the change agent, you can consider it. You can identify one or two tactics, those can be implemented in your organization. And when you refer the literature of change management, you will find there is another management philosopher who is a known behavioral scientist, Kotter, Kotter. Kotter has conveyed certain tactics or stages or steps for the effective implementation of the change management. So first he said, establish a sense of urgency. As a manager, you have to create a phenomena or feelings among the people that whatever changes are there, they are the need of the hour. This is called sense of urgency. If you are not going to accept these changes, then you may not be able to survive. This is what is happening now. Unless you are able to have even teaching also, digital lectures, online lectures, webinars, these are the need of the hour. So this is how it has been conveyed. Social distancing, new protocol. So first of all, you have to establish a sense of urgency, and then form a powerful guiding coalitions, so that people can follow those things. So you have to find out a powerful points or the guidelines. This is what we call nowadays protocols, and these things should be conveyed to everyone. This is what we call communicate widely. And the fourth step, he said, that when you are um, managing the change or implementing the change, empower others. Means you don't carry all the power with you, whether it's a financial power or non-financial power. You just empower others also. Secondly, if it is a big problem to commute, then you provide the vehicle, staff car, for pickup and drop. So all these are called the empower them. Financial reward can also be given. Generate short term win. Generate short term win means, हो सकता है एम्प्लॉय विरोध करे, हो सकता है यूनियन विरोध करे, देर इज नो हार्म, यू गिव समथिंग टू देम, ओके, फॉर द लार्जर इंटरेस्ट यू फॉरगेट अबाउट द शॉर्ट इंटरेस्ट. If they want any specific thing, if they want that we wish to have some more duration for the lunch hours, give them, but implement the change. Dear friends, it happens in tourism also. When you are implementing the change, when you are imparting the new language, or while you are entering into the new market to penetrate. So suppose you were handling French market, now you are entering into the African market. The clientele is altogether different. So you have to find out the ways. And people says, no साहब, मेरे को अफ्रीका जाने से पहले I just wish to stay in Johannesburg. No problem. You stay in Johannesburg. You stay there for 2-3 days, and then you can go for the Congo or other places in African nation where you are going to deploy. So this is again a very interesting thing and very important thing. Consolidate gains and create greater change. Unless you are going independently this way, that way, then things will be difficult. So you have to consolidate all those things and then create greater change. If you are implementing the change at once, then obviously it will be difficult to follow. And then the last one is the institutionalized change in the organizational culture. So you just say that after 7th of next month, we all will work through online. There will not be any personal meeting, rather all these things would be online meeting, like dressing, new protocols. So this is called institutionalized change in the organizational culture. So in a nutshell manner, if we just refer the points or the guidelines referred by the quoter, then we can say the first one is establishment of urgency, form a powerful guidance, then develop a compelling vision or strategy, which is very important. You cannot implement unless you have the strategy with you. Then communicate widely, then empower others, then generate short term win for the people, not for you. You forget about the short term win because you have the larger interest. And seventh one is the consolidate gains and create greater change. And then the last one, the eighth step, is the institutionalized change in the organizational culture. So unless this change is permanent, people may not follow it. So you have to be very cautious when we talk about the change management. Dear students, with this discussion, now things must have been clear to you that change is the need of hour. One cannot survive without change. Second thing which we have realized, that there are certain forces, those are very important for the change. That may be external, that may be internal. Basically, when we talk about the organization is a system wherever and whatever the changes are taking place. Like in tourism, you might have seen that whenever the political things are developing, then change will be there in the tourism system also. When we talk about the US-China relation, when we talk about the Syria war, when we talk about the people movement in the Egypt, we realize that there is a problem. It so happened in Kashmir also. Not only the Kashmir, we have witnessed almost 3 decades Sri Lanka. They suffered because of this terrorism. So when we talk about the changes will be there because of the external or internal factors. Dear friends, for the survival of the organization, one has to be very careful, and they have to while they are implementing the change, they have to study the mindset of the people, mindset of the group and the organization, because individual always resist change, group always resist change, the organizations also resist the change. So we still recall the very interesting thing was given by Kurt Lewin. Kurt Lewin said, unfree, change, and rephrase. Similarly, Kotter also has conveyed about the change. I'm sure this discussion would have been more fruitful if we would have discussed with some cases, but because of the time proximity, it's a bit difficult. And since because of the COVID 19, you are away from the classroom, and now we are on the virtual classroom away from the traditional institutional system. Wishing you all the best.